Dr. Hiba, thank you very much. I think from reading my CV, I am older than you. So just to start with. Good evening, and I'm really happy to see very familiar faces over the 25 years. And when I went to Cairo to attend the first meeting for ERF, I was a young economic researcher teaching at Kuwait University and at the same time working at KISR, Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research. And at that time, we were working on Kuwait development plan, 5-year development plan. And I was trying to build an econometric model, and the problem was data. Data was a big problem, and still it's a major problem. I'm sorry. So, being with ERF for the past 25 years, and I have to admit, in the beginning I was involved in attending all meetings, trying to work on some research, joint research with some of my colleagues in Kuwait University, but then, unfortunately, I went to politics, and this really took my time and my effort. But anyway, being involved in the decision-making process and policy-oriented decisions, really, we felt the importance of ERF and the research in ERF. Unfortunately, the Arab world was missing this element of evidence-based research and research based on statistics, based on facts, regardless of the quality of the data. I'm not talking about only national accounts or the financial accounts. I'm talking about more detailed data on labor markets, data on capital movement, on so many other issues. So ERF really came a long way to solve this problem and to provide the policymakers with this quality of data. I don't think we reached what we want. I think we had a long way to go, but the base is there. And what is really missing is really to get involved and the involvement of the other part. ERF is doing an excellent job in communicating with researchers in MENA region. But still, let me talk about the GCC, the Gulf. Still, our universities, as Dr. Hassan Ali mentioned this morning, it's teaching institutions. So research becoming, a secondary objective of a university. And now with the decline in oil prices, the first thing happened to the Kuwait University budget is to cut research budget. So I think this is a major element. The second is when you have to make a decision, it is very important to be a quick one. It's an instant decision you have to make. So sometimes this kind of research will take some long time and becomes more theoretical and not applicable. And as I was talking to Raed just now, any decision-making process, especially in economics, you want to make sure, especially GCC, that the number of losers are minimal. You don't want any sector or section of a society to be a loser. Let me talk about how we can develop the relationship between ERF and the GCC countries. And I'll talk about Kuwait, for example. I'm a board member of the Supreme Council for Development and Planning. And just 2 years ago, we established the Public Policy Center. And what we are trying to do in this center, and I talked to Ebraheem about this last year, and really we need ERF to be a major partner with us on this center, where we need to develop a set of policies that will help us to achieve the objective and the goals of the vision of Kuwait 2035, which consists of 7 pillars. And mainly is that to diversify the economy, to build a knowledge economy, and also to improve the quality of the citizens of Kuwait. We have to work really on the young economists. And I know in some other countries, ERF is trying to reach out to these young economists. But we'd like to see this also happen at the GCC level and within the universities in the GCC. Ebraheem, you have been in this part of the world. You have done a great job in helping young economists, but I think we have some mission to accomplish and to finish on this direction. The other issue maybe is changing the culture of R&D in our society. And this is because of that R&D in GCC is almost, I would say, 100% depend on governments. The private sector has no role in supporting the R&D process. So I think we need to work on this direction, especially now. I don't believe that GCC is facing a problem with the decline in oil prices. I think our major challenge is to provide productive jobs for the coming young GCC citizens to the labor market. And I think this is the major challenge that might rise social, not only economic challenges. So how do I see it in the coming years? I believe we should continue the channels of communications with officials and also with the major private sector, especially maybe the oil sector and the sovereign funds like KIA in Kuwait and others, to help really because they are, like, let me give you an example of KIA in Kuwait. We sponsor young Kuwaitis to study MBA in top 10 schools in the United States and in Europe. So I think we can, open a dialogue with them to help also to develop some research grants on certain issues that will help the young Kuwaitis or the young GCC citizens for their future. So maybe I'll stop here and we'll continue later. Thank you.
Excellent.